tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness.
Welcome back, everybody, to, I guess, what's the hottest thing on the YouTubes right now is the WrestleMarks Podcast. I am the Wrecking Ball, Jason Swinchock. To my left sits Matthew Mounts. Welcome, folks. Welcome back to the WrestleMarks. It is April 30th, my sister's birthday, so happy birthday to her. By the time y'all hear this, it could be June, because I'm slow in the editing room. But nonetheless, we're going to bring you up to date, up to as close as we can get to up-to-date news in wrestling. I'm going to turn it over to the co-host right now. What was your name? The mouth of Monongahela himself, Matthew Mounts. And that is something to say. Matthew, bring us into the wrestling world, brother.
Yeah. So WWE does not have a lot going on right now as far as like Raw, SmackDown. I don't think. Anyway. So like
you're going right in there, man, right for the throat, huh? You don't want to tell me how your day's going?
Yeah, I mean it's going.
I'm kidding. Everyone's like, we don't care. He was going to start talking about WWE. I just want to know. First of all, let's just let everybody. I want to know how you're doing today first, and if anybody doesn't care, I do.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you care.
And we've talked so far for probably an hour, and I haven't asked you that. Have I yet?
I don't think so. No.
Huh. What happens when you tell me, listen, and you start telling me what you want to talk about? What do I tell you all the time?
Wait till the podcast.
Don't tell me. I want live reaction. So, how's your day, dude? How's your Friday?
Good. Pretty good.
Got the baby asleep, huh?
Finally, yes. She was asleep.
Okay, good. So we're just good today?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like I got nothing going on today because I'm off today. So
do you want me to pause the podcast and so you can give the audience a great day so we can have a great show? Or are you just gonna bring just okay?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, let's pause this thing.
Folks, he's just like, please, Jason, let's steer the ship back to WWE. I don't want to do this off the cuff stuff. I'm there. I got you.
Off the cuff's great, man.
Sometimes I'm gonna push you in the deep end, brother. But anyway, I'm glad to know that you're good. I'm recovering a little bit of a bubble guts today I got my first vax. And then we were gonna do this show last night.
Yeah.
And it was just more convenient for do us today. It's rare that I get natural light in this studio, and we must mention, are lit up like an angel, ready to deliver the gospel of the WWE. Now that, folks, is a proper intro, and I'm sorry. Now we can get to the WWE news. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right, man. It's all right.
Yeah.
Look
at that aura.
I know, man. Yeah, hey, I got the glow, man.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, the problem, like I said, like started to say, like there's just not anything really that newsworthy going on. I don't think. Ironically enough, like outside of the WWE, like as far as like other shows that they produce, that's where the news is. Like the wrestling itself, it's just not a lot going on, man.
I really tried Raw. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give her a chance. And I'm good. I lasted 20 minutes because I'm in this scenario where we have Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre. And I don't know why Vince can't. And if I just listened to the Big Show on Jericho, and if you haven't listened to that on his podcast, it's amazing. And it's the same shit with the Big Show. Why Vince can't book giants? I just don't know why he can't. And when you have Braun Strowman looking at Drew McIntyre going, you're telling everybody I was mean, and I go, nobody talks like this. Nobody talks, and I am infuriating, and I'm writing these notes down. And then I'm like, that is the worst. That's how you capture the audience on the top part of that show.
Wow, yeah.
I don't even want to go into AEW on how they open for the last 2 weeks, but then I get to this Miz segment, and I like the Miz, and we'll end on the Miz as far as the news I want to talk about. I know he's not your favorite
No.
guy over there, but considering that Mortal Kombat released last week, I'm a mark. I loved it. Is it a 10 out of 10? No. I have some asterisks by that more, but he's been petitioning to take the Johnny Cage role in the sequel.
Yeah.
And I want to tell him, Miz, I would support that until somebody else came along and wants that role, and we'll discuss that in the AEW section. But I would say, Miz, if anything, stop doing the same Miz show that was on the last week of Raw.
Yes.
And it's like,
Yeah.
why is this girl? Are they friends? Why is that guy there now? Didn't they just have her thing at? And I go, wow. And I tried. But you said it best. Is like the shows you want to talk about. Are they on the network?
They're on A&E.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arts. Do you know what A&E stands for?
I don't.
Arts and
Entertainment.
There you go, man.
Oh, look at that.
Listen, it's like we're the 1-2 combination of education for the lost, lonely fan out there.
Absolutely.
You know?
So,
so you're perusing the A&E channel, looking to educate yourself with some arts,
yeah,
and be entertained, and you come across what is this gem?
So there's two of them actually. Yeah. There is the WWE Hidden Treasure, Most Wanted Treasure. That show was awesome. Like Mick Foley opened that, like, and like it's not like so much like I like the show as much as I like the concept. Like as a WWE fan, imagine like as a wrestling fan, imagine like Mick Foley showing up to your house and being like, "Hey, I want to buy this jacket that I had 20 years ago from you. And also, I'm going to hang out with you for a whole day."
All right, stop. I think I understand the Mark side of this, but have you ever seen Mick Foley on the street?
Yeah,
dirty flannels and jogging pants. First of all, he wouldn't be allowed to get into my neighborhood, Matt. Okay, let alone get close to my door, through the gates, and get close to my door, because they would throw him out of my neighborhood. All right.
I mean, imagine.
So anyway, no. So like, if you have you have memorabilia at this house, he'll just show up. Mick Foley's here, ding dong on your door, and you go, "Oh my goodness gracious!"
Yeah, pretty much.
He's brave.
He is, yeah. And or imagine like the Undertaker and Kane coming to your house and being like, "Hey, you have this Kane mask. We want to buy this off you." You know what I mean? Like, and you get to like chill out with these guys for, an hour or whatever. I mean, I don't know. Like, I like it because like, if you're like the guys who are going to own this memorabilia, they are marks, literally. That's what they are. They're buying it because these are their idols and this is who they support. So to get to meet that person in person, I think it's really cool, just the concept of like what they want to do. And then at some point
they want to buy it off of you.
They'll either buy it off you or they'll like trade you like tickets to WrestleMania for this, or they'll like say, "Hey,"
it sounds like a WWE scam to get old merchandise back to resell it in a museum or something.
Well, no, they're not reselling it. What they're going to do at some point is they're going to make like a traveling museum that will go from like city to city. And you'll be able to go in and actually like see all this old memorabilia. I'm sure there'll be a fee involved.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But they go, "How much for that jacket?" I go, "Vince, let me tell you something. If you want to buy it off me, there ain't enough money in the world."
But see,
just kidding. Just kidding. Shut up. Though. All right. $50.
Well, it's funny though, because like the Mick Foley original flannel, like whenever he was Cactus Jack.
Oh yeah.
The guy
what color is it? What color was it? Red and black?
Red, yeah, red and black. Yeah, he told him, he said, "I don't want to sell it at all. I don't want to get rid of it." They offered him like $7,500 for this flannel jacket that if you went to goodwill and seen it, you'd be like, oh, okay, it's $2, whatever,
Yeah.
But the guy said no, he wasn't going to sell it to him for that.
Yeah, that was my question. They what if
Yeah.
no, okay, cool. So
So
they'll
what they
still
did was
show,
they
they're still gonna show up and film though, even though you're like,
Yeah.
no.
Well, they sweetened the pot though, and they took him and
Ah.
let him see the museum before it was actually released to the public to see the museum. And they eventually obviously got him to sell it to him. But like I thought it was cool. I think the concept is cool. Um, I mean, I'm not gonna like watch it probably religiously every week, but if I see like a wrestler that I really like Foley, I'm a big Foley fan. If
Yeah.
I seen something like that, I'm probably gonna tune in and watch it just for that reason. So like I don't know, I think that was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool show, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a wrestling fan to watch it either. You know what I mean? If you're just somebody who likes to collect memorabilia, like sports stuff,
Yeah.
you're gonna probably dig it. Um, and then they get into like the history of like the item and stuff too. Like they went and tried to find the mankind mask, the original mankind mask. He found that, he bought it off the guy. I don't remember how much for, but no, that guy there donated it to them. He
That's
came
cool.
because he was like a huge Foley mark. So he came in, and this guy has a museum, like a wrestling museum, like in his house, right?
Yeah.
His biggest thing was he just wanted Mick Foley to come hang out with him and his kids for like 2 or 3 hours. So they did. They just hung out, like watched TV, played video games, and Foley just hung out with him like he was his uncle or something, which is pretty cool. I like
I
that.
get social anxiety sometimes. I don't know if I would have the energy to hang out and entertain Mick Foley at my house for 3 to 4 hours.
Well,
What
yeah.
about you? What about you?
Oh, I mean, I think it'd be cool to hang out with them and just be like, hey,
Mm.
man, like, tell me the stories of like when you were on the road, dude. Like, I love that kind of stuff. So, like,
Yeah, I do like wrestler road stories.
yeah, man.
Like,
So
I
cool.
tell you what, with Mick, and Mick's always there, and I mean, I've liked some. I mean, I've loved some of Mick's work, and I've hated some. I don't like hardcore stuff, but I liked the man. I liked Mick. It's the mankind I do love and all that. But I watched that Mick Foley show on the network when it was on there.
The Cheap Pops.
What's
Or
that?
did you watch Cheap Pops?
No, it
Or
was
did
the
you watch?
actual behind the scenes where it was like the
with his
Foleys or
family.
something.
Yeah.
And there was an episode where he was in the WWE warehouse where they had all the old stuff, and he came across the Hell in a Cell cage,
Mhm.
and like, man, they really produced that right, because there was a lot of an emotion to like a guy who, like, and you can see like Mick struggles to like walk. And
Yeah.
like when he was just like thinking back, like you see he was like tearing up a little bit thinking about that. And I'm just like, that was a big thing back then. And we kind of just like, I got a little teary eyed because I like to get emotional. I like to just throw in on emotional stuff, dude.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
and I wouldn't say that 20 years ago. But nowadays, man, if this piece is meant for me to feel, it's okay to feel sad. And like, man, I
Yeah.
just really felt for the guy. Like, well, I'll get a little teared up right now. But if you haven't seen that, man, it takes you back. And like, you see all this stuff in that museum, and he's just like looking at this cage and like, look, he can't walk because of stuff like that. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, Mick, So I mean, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. And then the other show that I watched that was, well, two shows that I watched were really good on A&E was they're doing an 8-part series that's a biography. So they did Stone Cold first, which like I like Stone Cold as a wrestler. I think he's a great wrestler. I think that what he did for the industry is phenomenal. But like whenever they got into like his backstory with like his children and stuff, man, I was just like, oh my God, this guy's really just, there's no other way to put it. He's an asshole. He just is, and they get into like, with his ex-wives, like he abused a couple of them. Like, I mean, he's like the guy's just not, he's just not that good of a human being. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as far as a wrestler goes, like he's phenomenal, and he wrapped himself up in his career, and he built a lot of people.
Are they a part of it though? Is Stone Cold a part of this, or is this everybody else but him?
What do you mean?
Is Stone Cold involved? Are the wrestlers involved in these productions, or is this everybody else doing it without them?
No. They're there. They're telling the
Okay.
stories. This is
So
like
this is
raw,
probably
like,
also a way of atonement for him as well.
it
though.
is. And like
Okay.
he even says, like, you know, like towards the end that, like, because he has 2 daughters. I never even knew he had children, to be honest. But like, you know,
yeah, right. I
right?
haven't noticed. I didn't think because he never on the podcast, and I've
No,
listened to almost 90% of his stuff.
well, his children live in England. They don't even live in the United States.
Wow.
And
Folks,
like,
I tell you what, how many people comment are like right now? If you know that, because I didn't. And Matthew, let me tell you something. It takes a lot to stump me.
yeah,
And I'm not a big Stone Cold guy. I never liked his ring work. I wasn't a fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin. I was a Stunning Steve fan, though.
yeah.
But his podcasts throughout the years have made me love him and like him and wish to go back and understand. Now I understand. I like the Stone Cold character now because I get more of him. And I think he's always man enough to admit now, like when he was wrong. As I've heard him talk with like Scott Hall and say, you know, like, brother, we were both in bad shape when we were going into that WrestleMania, 18 match. We both didn't want to be, and they can move past that because they were good friends before that. They traveled up and down the road. So I like that stuff. But yeah, this is probably a good way. Okay, so I'm happier now that they're in it and it's an atonement. I thought it was just a bash, a hero bashing session.
No.
I go, that's not fair, but
No, I mean, and then
I can understand that. That's interesting.
yeah, then he gets into like talking about like how him and his daughters like now have like started to communicate more and like, that kind of stuff. And that's all good things. And like I'm glad that like that's something that he's been able to do for himself. But like, dude, like whenever they get into like the beginning of it though, and like how he was and like who he was, like as a person, it's like, wow. Like, what I mean? Because like whenever you're a kid and you're watching this guy, like, like this is like you're like, oh man, like this guy's he's cool, he's on TV, he's doing this, he's doing something that you like, and whatever. But like he just really was just not a great person. And then the second one that I watched was Roddy Piper, which is a complete opposite.
Roddy,
Steve Austin. The man was like anybody who said anything about this guy said, like, listen, like he was a hell of a guy, he was a hell of a father. He loved his family. That was the thing. That was his thing. He was away a lot, and he knew he was away a lot. But whenever he was home, his wife had said that like he would come home after being on the road for a month, 2 months, whatever. And he would like be so tired and dragged out, but he would just like take his kids to Disneyland the same day. He would just be like, okay, we're going, let's go. And like, he just like just a hell of a father and, just a hell of a wrestler in general. And one of the best heels in the business, like literally one of the best heels in the business.
Roddy, a friend of mine made a movie a few years ago called Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies. And Roddy's in it. And it's they filmed it at the Wheeling Penitentiary. And it's schlocky and it's listen, don't go expecting Shakespeare, but I think if you do that, you're an asshole. This is a fun wrestling movie. Hacksaw's in it, Matt Hardy's in it, and I was invited to the premiere. I'm going to tell you what, Roddy Piper is not a guy. I've met a lot of celebrities, and you can judge a lot of them. And like, you can't though too, because everybody has days and they're human beings. But Roddy, when I know whatever it cost Roddy to be there, or whatever, to promote, this was the opening night. Then we were all going to go watch the movies with the wrestlers. It was in Uniontown. It was really cool. And Roddy worked the room. Like there was a line at first to get to him. And then Roddy worked the room. And like we had some great conversations, because I'll tell this to anybody that meets anybody. Don't walk up to someone and be like, dude, I'm your biggest friend. Have something interesting to say. And at the time this was happening, Roddy was on Always Sunny in Philadelphia as the Maniac.
Okay.
Wrestler. Okay. Yeah. So I was such a big fan, and I was like, hey Roddy, I was like, been a fan since WrestleMania 1, brother. But the best thing you've ever done was the Maniac on Always Sunny. And he laughed so loud. And that was the moment. Like he took me, like me and him went outside. And then we had this conversation. He was like, you know what? He's like, so these movie guys, and we're getting into it, and Cody was there. So Cody's kind of introducing the director and the writer of this was kind of introducing everybody. It was kind of like, it's Jay, he's a film guy. And Roddy's into it. He's like, listen, the best thing on the Always Sunny is they let me do, and those kids let me do and say whatever I want. I go, what? He goes, there's no script. He goes, well, there is one. He goes, but they'd rather just me just say things. And I'm like, that's great. And then like we're chatting, and he's like, and I got a winter jacket on. I'm bulked up in this leather jacket. And he's talking, he's looking at my arms the whole time. And then like, man, he's talking to me and he's grabbing my arms. He's grabbing my biceps. You know what I mean? He's like, man, I'm telling you. And I don't know how many, I'm going to tell you this much. He might tell everybody this ever. But my friend Marcus Staley was the zombie in the movie that kills Roddy, that bites Roddy and infects him. And Marcus was like hanging around, and like I asked Marcus, like he never told me that. And he's like, I talked to Roddy a lot tonight. And Roddy grabbed me. He's like, man, if I had a guy like you, he goes, I think I could have another run. He goes, but something I've never done, a tag title run. And I'm telling you this. I'm telling you that happened. Nobody believes me.
Yeah, no,
I mean, obviously, when you see me, of course, this makes sense. And it was so good. And then like everybody was like, "There's my tag team partner all night." I mean, I was on. That was his job to make to make all the marks feel on top of the world. And then like watching that movie with all those guys, Hacksaw yelling, "Ho!" Roddy will always have a special moment, in my heart. I loved his wrestling, but that little for him, we were talking for 25 minutes, dude, and everyone else is like waiting for him, and he's just like, we're just like connected, and man, it was good. Dude. It was really good.
That's awesome. Now, and the other thing that I learned about Roddy in that biography was that the signature leather jacket that he wears, right? Like the quoted leather, whatever. That was Kevlar lined because he had been stabbed so many times. He had like 3 like stabs that were could have been fatal. Like that's how much heat he had on him at the time, going from territory to territory. I mean, he got into a few of the Guerreros and did the Mexican anthem as the cucaracha, with a bagpipe. So the guy was
when he started with those damn bagpipes.
God, man.
You don't see that in old WWE footage because it was in the territories.
Yes.
But if you watch some original green green trunks he had back then, and it was like almost an Andy Kaufman, is he serious with this shit? And what he instant heel heat, listen to this, stand and on, and he can really play him.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I could yap about Roddy all day long, but I always like to look to the future, but we always must know and respect the past. And I tell you what, from shooting and changing to the total side of the fence, let's talk about who I was mad at last week in the last episode. I didn't talk about him. TNA Impact. I smited them. And then I gave their spot to IWC, but we still have to almost talk about IWC because Josh Alexander on this pay-per-view, local dude that's going to be wrestling 5 minutes from my palace this summer at the Wild Things, and he walks away with the X Division title first match at the Rebellion pay-per-view. Man, what do you think about that? You're going to say,
that's awesome.
Never heard of him.
I never have, but that's awesome though that he's a local guy. I'll support anything that's local.
Oh, dude, I've seen him a lot. I first saw him last summer. We had some IWC shows at the Wild Things, and it's like $20, $25, man. Oh, it's a great family time, man. I tell everybody, get out there and support these guys. Oh, yeah. He looks like a super buff young Kurt Angle, and I'm sorry if that makes him I know he has to have the comparison, but he wears the headgear. And I watched a match I watched his Impact match this week, and his title defense against the same guy. I forget. I'm Ace something. He has these card tricks. I don't know. He pulls cards out, and he'll give you a paper cut on your finger with a playing card. But Josh Alexander did great in that pay-per-view, did great in Impact.
Are you talking about Austin Ace? Is that what his name is?
Austin Ace, yeah. Ace Austin or Austin Ace?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
But then we got, so there's another IWC's now invading AEW and TNA Impact. So great for those guys. Big Cash shows up out of nowhere as what's that little guy's name? He has a faction. He always has a faction now. He's been like TNA forever. But anyway, he debuts.
You're talking
Eric
about
Young's.
Eric Young. About what? Oh God, what is his name? I know exactly who you're talking about.
W. Morrissey.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, whatever that. Okay, is that his real name? I don't know. Then he had a great match on Impact to follow that up. Nice little squash match, cut a nice promo on everybody in the back being really bad people, and then said, but maybe I'm the worst, and then demolished this guy. So nice words, nice promo, can survive without that little mouth running around him. Big Cass, welcome back.
Oh, I love Enzo, man. Loved him. Some
women highlights. Paul Ellerling's daughter, and forgive me if I didn't write her, and I just wrote Ellerling's daughter. Forgive me for her name, but she is amazing. Taylor Wilde is back, who is from Ontario, trained by, I think she was trained by Bill DeMott and Awesome Kong. But Taylor Wilde is back, and she is awesome. And she also she made her debut on the Impact or on the dude. She hasn't wrestled in 12 years. She's been retired.
Oh wow!
She just come back out of nowhere, and she has not wrestled anywhere. Like she left TNA in like 2010, has not done anything. Just shows back up. Good shape, still moving around the ring. Has great submission moves. I'm excited to see her back. Good Brothers looked good. Damn Doc Gallows had his they're all giving homage to the Jesse Ventura feather dangler earring. So they looked good. They didn't get the tag titles off Hoovy Juice because they're a pretty damn good tag team. And then we get to that finale. Kenny versus Rich Swann. Did you watch it?
I did. I watched that match in particular.
Yeah. And that's why I kind of sped through everything else. I think everything needed to be met, but what'd you think?
See, this is where we're gonna either get into a fight and differ, or you're gonna end the podcast. So we'll find out.
Okay.
I don't think Kenny Omega is as good as he's being hyped to be. I just don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't see it. And
all right. I'm 42. It ain't the first time someone's opinion didn't match mine. Back it up, brother. Tell me.
The reason why I say that, I just like no
matter what you say, though, I'm going to edit this out and put "I love Kenny Omega" on over your mouth, and that's it. So,
this is where my viewpoint of it is. Okay, like he's an Impact. Like, granted, like I don't think that he's not talented. I think he's a talented wrestler. I think that he knows his way around the ring and he can control the ring and whatever. And that's fine. I just don't think that him being a triple champion in 3 different promotions is beneficial to those other 2 promotions. AEW, if he was just AEW and he was the champion there, I get it, and that's great. But like for Impact, because now you have a guy that came in from another organization, wins your title, your main title. Everybody below him now looks like shit. That's simple. The guy you had lose to him now looks like shit. He looks weak in the eyes of those wrestling fans that are watching Impact every week, because now you don't even have an Impact champion that's 100% in Impact. You know what I mean? And I'm sure it'll build into a story at some point, and they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do as far as a merger or whatever it is. And I get that, but I just think it hurts the business whenever it would. I just think it hurts the business whenever you do that,
All right. Well,
because you got one guy with all the gold.
no. Okay. Well, hold on. Let me say something. I'm going to use my pen from Nicole Malesic, realtor. All right, friend of mine who's a real estate agent. I think you're a little. This is a formula. When I said last week the territories are back, and this also leads me into the return of the super cards, is why I want to talk about this issue. These aren't super cards, by the way, that they mention here. These are pay-per-views. If we're going to go back to the era of the super cards and the territories, okay, that formula worked until Vince killed it with sports entertainment. His father told him not to go after the territories. This is how the territories worked. When Flair held a belt, or Dusty, they would visit. It was such an elevation. So when you watch Impact this week, and I don't know if you did, the question is, who's going to stand up? Now, Scott D'Amore gives one of the greatest general manager face tweener promos. He makes the whole company stand around the ring. The belt's got to come back here. Who's going to step up? Here's how it's going to work. And oh, by the way, Kenny Omega, if you don't show up tonight, you lose the TNA title, because he has to be there. Kenny has to be there. So we don't know what this is. You can't think of it about as a Raw and a SmackDown, and Vince is going to just stomp on everybody else. No, because if you watch AEW and you watch Impact, now everybody else has a chance to have that spotlight. And now the stakes are bigger. To be the guy that can go and represent all the territories, they're not going to unify them. There's no ultimate plan. And I don't know this. I don't believe that there is not a unification plan. We're going to stay entities and help each other, because that's how we will ultimately not defeat Vince, but work around him.
Okay.
And now that being said, time will show either you or I am right. But I think your opinion wasn't so much about Kenny Omega. It was the storyline of him being this quad champion. I think it was your tick more of that, because I would dare anybody I'll give you 2 or 3 Kenny Omega matches. You watch them. If you don't say he's the greatest of all time, I'll eat this Pastry King's hat. All right. But it sounds like to me, you just don't like the story.
I don't know, because I also think that there's a better wrestler than Kenny Omega out there.
I think Rich Swann showed the world that, listen, the best part about that was that Kenny didn't cheat. Okay.
Well,
there was no shenanigans.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah.
That no good Aubrey tried to get in our business, and we know that Aubrey tries to get in Jericho's business all the time. But I love the Aubrey being there too, because bring our best ref. It's a women power.
Yeah,
you know, Kenny and Jericho love to mix it up with her. So, and then Rich to stand as long as he did, the ups and downs, no cheating. Kenny didn't have to cheat to win. Rich Swann, if not, just Kenny made Rich Swann a mega star.
Yeah.
That's Kenny's job. Kenny's going to go around and anoint and give everybody that Kenny Omega rub and make immortals on whoever he beats. And people need it. Ring of Honor, when they get back up and functioning, they need a Kenny Omega to show up and say, hey, you're part of the territories now. Anoint them. Triple A loves the fact their business has never been better without Kenny Omega, because it's Kenny Omega.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now, Hoovy Juice, the TNA Impact champions, they're from New Japan. They're New Japan wrestlers.
Yeah.
So this mix and match is not a. Don't think of it as an eventual. It's all folding in, and it's going to get McMahonigan into a universal title, and then Brock gets it. No. Let it breathe, and it's slower storytelling that any of us are used to in the past 20 years.
Yeah. And I think that's probably why I don't care for it as much, is because I'm just not used to seeing that storytelling like that anymore. And I think that's probably the reason why. I don't know.
Because, brother,
I don't know.
you've allowed wrestling entertainment to come into your heart and soul
Well, it's because that's
and
what
let
we
it grow there.
you know.
And for a long time, I felt like I was in the Matrix being a WWE fan. Like, this isn't the real world. I remember real pro wrestling, and I
Yeah.
think it's back. I think.
Yeah,
Listen, this could destroy them all, and we all could be working for Vince McMahon and again in the next year. And I don't know. And I'm talking about WrestleMania 47. Are you excited? Randy Orton versus Edge. Oh God, we can't have that.
No.
We can't have that. So anyway, coming off of Impact, we lead right into AEW Dynamite in the proper way to open a show. Now, when we talked about that stupid place, WWE, and I said we walked right into this stupid Braun Strowman McIntyre, don't call me a meanie thing.
Yeah.
How does AEW Dynamite open their show? Do you know?
With a match.
With who? With what match? What match?
I cannot remember off the top of my head. I did watch it.
It was the greatest tag team in the world, the Young Bucks, with Don Callis.
God, here we go.
Versus the Seidel brothers, who ain't no slackers themselves.
Absolutely.
Everybody got their stuff in. A heel Young Bucks can make any face brilliant. Not that the Seidels can't bring it on their own. Beautiful way to start the night off. With action. Telling some story in the ring. In the ring is where we got to tell our stories, not in a back room where a big giant guy's telling another guy, you're mean to me. That's bad. Bad.
Yeah, that is real bad.
I don't want to go down the tops of, on the show, but I want, what's something you love right now in a wrestling AEW storyline? Because I have a lot, but what's one thing right now you're just on the bus with?
I think, believe it or not, and I'm not a huge Cody guy. Like, I like Cody. I think he's a good wrestler. I'm just not a huge Cody guy. But like this Cody QT Marshall thing is like, dude, it's hitting on, it's firing on all cylinders. Like I'm enjoying it. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. Which I mean, like, I don't know, like QT like coming out on his bus and like, like making it look like he took the bus and like he's taking the company and he's doing the whole thing. Dude, I love it.
He's a good dude. I'm all for that. I like the little shenanigans. And listen, at the end of the day, we're gonna have 4 new. That one dude looks like the barbarian. Doesn't he? He looks like Booger from the Revenge of the Nerds, and he's gonna kill everybody. I love it.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, you're gonna get what's gonna be nice about this is they're going to they're gonna produce 5 brand new talents. Because you got the 3 guys that are with QT Marshall, and you got the younger guy that's with the Nightmare family, and like did you watch the match with QT and like that, what was it, like a 3-on-3 match or whatever it was? Like it was like QT Marshall, 2 of his guys, and then it was Dustin Rhodes, and I thought it was a pretty good match though. It was good.
I'm a big Hangman Phage guy. Hangman Phage. Hangman Phage. I love that Hangman Phage, man. Yeah. The Hangman Page, #1 ranked. Just Brian Cage takes, I won't say a total clean win, but it takes a win off Hangman
Yeah.
Page this week, and that Brian Cage is a monster.
I
And I love them both.
You want to know my honest opinion? I think that Hangman Page should have won over Cage this time, because I think there's more to come with this story. I think there's
Hangman
definitely more to come.
but Hangman goes over everybody.
He does, but
And Brian Cage never beats anybody unless there's Taz shenanigans. And we have to
Yeah.
build this monster.
well, I kind of think that with Hangman Page, if he would have went over Cage, I think that it would have, like, number one, it would have gave Cage more of a reason to go after him, which I think would have been good. And then you could have built him as like this guy, like Hangman he's the guy. He's gonna come after that title, and Kenny Omega had better be ready to go. Because like this whole Moxley Kingston thing that's going on, like, I'm sorry, but it's getting boring. It just is. And I think that they're gonna end that somewhat soon. And then I think that Hangman Page is gonna have to step into that title picture, and they need to put a title on this guy like already. Like they need to do something with him, because he's getting in that territory where he's undefeated. Well, he was undefeated,
Yeah.
and he's getting in that territory now where it's like okay, like you're feeding him people. He's booked, Matt. You know, he's a big guy. Like he's your top guy, but he needs a belt. He needs something. And like I don't want to see them give him like the TNT title. You know what I mean?
I
want
don't
to see him
think he
like
needs
take that
anything.
championship.
I don't think gimmicks make people. I think
don't think it
if
is
he
either.
comes out and does the same thing he's doing,
Yeah.
I think he's star status. The thing is I don't want them to repeat. They just did that with Darby Allin, is why I don't want them to go down that road. Like, they just did that with Darby Allin, and it's a thing. So like we start this feud off. Oh fuck, here they go. Now they're gonna go after Hangman. Oh, here they go. Here, beat him down. No, fuck. They get a semi-clean win if he didn't get the power bomb in the beginning, and you get Cage looking like a monster. I don't like Cage with Taz because Taz sucks, and I don't think we get anything.
I like Taz, but I don't like.
My thing is, I think we can get more out of a face Brian Cage, and we've been teasing that.
That's
And I would have liked to have seen him like maybe a little bit more respect towards Page. You know, I want to be paid. Like I want to see these two go at it, and I want to see Brian turn face and Page like earn his face and like fight me straight up, bro. And then like maybe he does win, and then Hangman walks away because Hangman can get over on a loss because he's got Dark Order sympathy.
Yes.
And I hate the Dark Order. I hate it. And I hate it worse now that it will ever be this memorial thing that you kind of have to like because of Brody.
See,
and I would like it to go away forever.
The problem I have with the Dark Order is they keep saying it's a tribute to Brody Lee and it's a tribute to Brody Lee, but yet they lose every match. So it's like I think that if like and I really truthfully wanted 10 to go over Darby Allin.
Oh,
I did. No, I did.
I've been Darby Allin out. Me and my buddy Adam just talked about that.
I love Darby Allin since he was back and Evolved. That's how long I've liked Darby Allin. All right. But at this point, like the guy has like his title run's over. It is. It's over. It should be over. Like he's held an undercard title for long enough. It's now he needs to move on and go for another title, go for a bigger title. That's what he needs to do. So the problem with it is that you only have 2 belts in that organization that he can really go after. You have the TNT. No. You have the main.
Hold on, you're missing the point. You're missing the point of AEW completely. You don't have to have someone chasing something. The storyline in AEW is always your rankings.
Yeah.
So you never have to have a guy success in AEW. Chris Jericho is not chasing anything, and he pulls the top. My dog is. You hear her crying in her sleep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Chris Jericho's not chasing anything. He's chasing MJF, and he's putting the highest. So my point is that the things they're doing now are bringing in the biggest views. Darby Allin is the TNT champ on the two of the highest viewed Dynamites, over 1 million. Now that NXT is gone, but that's under his watch. So I don't know if we can say it's boring yet. That might be again. This show's for our opinions, and this is why we need to. I like things and I like cross things, but I don't know. So I don't know if it's done. Listen, I'm with you on. I'm bored with it. I'm not. I was an NWO guy, not a Sting guy. So
no, I was a Sting guy.
Sting better mind his business and never come at anybody in the club. That's all. I'm giving him a fair warning. I want to see a face Brian Cage because I like heels, but I know when we need I know when a guy just I'd like to make a face monster out of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what do you think about? Well, see, if you didn't watch the Young Bucks match, did you see? You missed Matt Jackson do the perfect Johnny Cage split.
Yeah,
and
I saw it. I saw it.
Your precious side out.
That was hilarious.
Boom! And then I immediately tweeted, "Sorry, Miz. I was all about you for Johnny Cage, but now
Johnny Cage wins."
I took a big. Oh, it was so good. It was good. And he just went. Those two is so bad. They're gonna put that whole damn roster to the stars. They're gonna make. They're gonna make that. Look, anybody you throw against the Young Bucks is gonna go through the roof the roof, man.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about? We talked about him. We dashed about him, but you don't like Kenny Omega. You don't like the Bucks. You don't. Mox, you're sick of Mox and Kingston.
No,
and
I love Moxley.
I would say I love Mox and I love Kingston. I don't like that Kenny beat that. I don't want them going at each other because I like everybody here. And I just want to come between them and all go and stop it. There's other people we can fight. We need Eddie Kingston up in Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers and Bullet Club conversation, though. Okay? Yes. We need to elevate him above that Butcher and the Blade Bunny bullshit, whatever. Leave that to the Hardy family office. And we need to put Eddie on that. Now he's on that Mox, Kenny Omega level. And Eddie, Kenny, Mox. I could watch another 3 months of them and their shenanigans. I hope the Elite build 10 trailers and Mox and him run through them all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what I like. That's old-time shenanigans. I like that Kenny this week, he was like, you're not going to fight me. You're going to fight one of my minions. And Nakazaka's like, yeah. And then the fucking thing comes down, Nakazaka's like, ah. I was hoping he was going to be oiling himself up. I just love it, man. Listen, everything is hitting. There's not much I don't like about AEW right now, man. But I feel the dark side of the sports entertainment pulling you. I feel it pulling you like Kylo Ren was pulled to the light. I just feel it pull. The light behind you coming through.
Yeah,
it feels like it's from Connecticut.
It's not.
It feels like it's the Titan Towers, Titan Entertainment, Ico Pro Sports.
I think the best segment of AEW show, besides Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall, was the parlay between. My God, dude, Jericho.
Well, this is what we were talking. Like, did I bring him up? I might. When the hell did
you brought him up? But you didn't say that. You didn't talk about the parlay.
I mean, but is he not like, okay, so I'll put I can mix this up a little bit. Tell me, the parlay.
Dude, oh my God.
Jericho has delivered the 3 best promos he's ever delivered in his life for 3 consecutive weeks. We've watched him take 5 guys, turn them face. He turned his face.
All at the same time.
He's made the Pineapple famous now. because they're supposed to be hated. It even makes Jericho can make a heel guy like me not like the pineapple, because we go, yeah, that's a dumb name. I'm with Jericho. I'm a face guy on this one. I want to see Sammy Guevara finally, after 3 years, be the beast he could be.
Oh.
Santana and Ortiz, I believe them now face going after the Bucks, heel young Bucks. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Could you imagine? And then finally, Jake Hager with the crowd behind him. Let this guy find his new self.
Yes, please.
Let him find his new MMA self and let's get on it. But in the meantime, boy, we're finally getting over the mid-card destined Spears.
Yes. Yeah, and you know what? That guy, like, truthfully, 100%, that guy has raw talent. Just, he's a good, like, I don't understand.
Good hand.
I don't understand. No, yeah.
Don't say that. Don't say he's a good hand. You'll get a effing share to your back of your head.
I don't understand how this guy hasn't gotten over more in his career. I just don't understand it. Because
we booked him into I don't know why he was booked into oblivion, but listen, he might be just a guy that's okay with that too. Okay?
Yeah, maybe.
We give him Tully. We've legitimized him since the beginning with Tully. Tully's always seen something in him, so we all have to go, okay.
Yeah.
Now Tully has revealed this big plan, and Tully's been saying, fear this or whatever, fear something coming, whether they thought maybe it was going to be the Revolution, was the original intended title of this faction or not, whatever.
I think it should have been.
But pulling that FTR in, now pulling and then great storytelling, fantastic. I'm on the face side of the storytelling, and that's rare.
I think they should have, in my opinion, I think they should have made it to 4 Horsemen. They should have had Tully.
You want Vince to fucking send thousands of cease and we can't. This is a delicate situation. Making a hand gesture.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just think that
you can't say 4-0. He'll be like, what? Right?
Yeah. No, I know. I just think that they should have. I don't know. I think the Pinnacle is a horrible name. Number one. And I just think that if they were if it was reversed, right? The roles were reversed and the Inner Circle was called the Pinnacle, you could kind of see it more so because Jericho is he has been to the mountaintop and he's been the top guy in a lot of different places. So I could see that.
Yeah, but he's not the Pinnacle now. No. That's the storyline. Jericho's character, the character he's portraying now, is the guy on the tail end of his career.
Yeah.
But but you're gonna fucking have to bury me if you think you can take my spot. Before we wrap things up, folks, everybody's seen this on the stands here, the return of the supercards. First of all, I want to say this is almost true, but we are getting a lot of cross talent. And I think eventually when we were talking about Endgame, this is what I'm saying is us saying the territories are back. Supercards are territorial things. Vince tried to do it when he would have the Raw and SmackDown super shows where everybody's here. No, because SmackDown and Raw was never two companies in anybody's opinions. Maybe it was to all the entertainment fans out there, but it never felt that way. It was the blue show and one was red. That's stupid. Should have kept WCW alive and made it SmackDown. But anyway, the supercards are coming back, so I want to say that there's some truth in this article, and there's not, but I wouldn't consider the Royal Rumble. No. The territories will eventually push Vince or someone there to say, look, we got it. Jericho being on the Stone Cold podcast is the first steps, and I think that they're eventually going to go, it's better if we just let all this happen and let them dance around us. I think there's common ground there. Since we were talking a little trivia back there, I have some trivia for you, and I like live trivia because then you can't Google anything. And I'm gonna put a countdown clock, and we're gonna wrap the show up on this, okay? And I want to say this. I felt you out over the past episode. I know your history of wrestling. What are you 39?
I'm 35.
35.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me show my math. That was the X in my equation there. Okay. So yeah, you should know this stuff. Okay. So I'm going to shoot the first question at you. Who were the members of the American Males tag team who wrestled together from 95 to 96?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Would you like a hint?
Yes.
One of them went on to become NWO member.
Oh God, there was like 400 of them. I want to say, I don't know. I really don't
Marcus Bagwell and Scotty Riggs.
Oh.
Marcus
Okay.
Bagwell eventually morphed into Buff Bagwell.
Yes.
Scotty Riggs turned into somebody that hung out in Ravens' crew. I think he was still Riggs or whatever, but he went to the Ravens' flock and went nowhere.
Wing.
Tonight is the first ever WrestleMania. My match is next, and I'm about to challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. Who am I?
Was it? It's not Pat Patterson, is it? 'Cause I know he was the first Intercontinental Champion.
Is Pat Patterson your final answer?
Yeah.
The Junkyard Dog.
Oh man, I like that dude too. Damn.
He went on to face Greg Valentine, who was the current champion, beat him by count out, and Valentine held the belt due to champion's advantage. Okay, you're 0 for 2. Are you sad now? Your aura's fading.
Sad.
By the way, the worse
My
you
aura's
answer,
going down as we do this.
the aura fades. All right, I'm gonna throw you one down the middle. Jeez. Which ECW stable included members such as Chris Benoit, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Shane Douglas?
Oh God. I know who all three of those guys are.
You were the ECW. They were like the ECW premier faction.
Oh man. See, that's the problem though. I couldn't watch ECW very often. Like I had to watch like if it was on at like 1 o'clock in the morning whenever I was a kid, I could watch it. I gotta make sure my mom didn't see that, they were bleeding all over the place. Cause
you were a little younger. I was in high school, so middle school was you were probably a little too young.
That was
Triple Threat was created by Shane Douglas. Other members of the stable included Too Cold Scorpio, who was also Flash Funk in WWE. Dean Malenko, who went on to be Four Horsemen. Chris Candido.
Yeah, I know who that is. Lost an eye.
I think he was just come from being Skip and Supreme. All right. What's this one? Number 4? You're 0 for 3?
Yeah, I'm over 3.
All right. I've listened somewhere right now. I was Googling all this, and they're going to comment, this dude doesn't nothing. Yeah. What manager defeated his own team to win the WWF Tag Team titles?
God, why are these so hard? Man, I don't know.
Rico.
Oh God.
Pinned Billy and Chuck, who he managed at the time,
Yeah, I
to
remember
win their belts, and then later laid down and gave them back to them. All right, man. Final one. Okay,
right.
Final one. This is for it all. Okay, This is it. Tonight is the WrestleMania 19 pay-per-view. Okay? And I will soon make my debut in WWE. They aired a video tonight promoting my appearance at the next pay-per-view, Backlash. Who am I?
I don't know.
I faced The Rock at Backlash as my first opponent in WWE.
Was it Jericho?
It was Goldberg.
Oh my! What the?
Well, folks, there it is. 0 for 5. You know, would you like to ask me any trivia right now? Would you like to ask me anything? You can go back to the anytime, any era,
I know.
ever.
Yeah. Oh man.
No?
I don't
No
know.
questions?
No.
All right. Well, why don't you answer this question? Where, if people want to know more about the man, the myth, the legend, Matthew Mounts,
Yeah.
where could they do that at? Do you have it? Are you on the Twitter?
I am on Twitter.
Where?
I don't know. You just have to.
At Matthew Mounts?
Yeah. Just at Matthew Mounts. Yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
All right, good. Okay. All right. Well, how come when I asked you last week, do you have a handle? You went, nope.
Well, because I don't know. Like, because I'm on Facebook and Twitter, but like, I don't really use either one of them that often. So, I mean, I'm on there.
Where's your fan base going to go? You know what I mean?
We gotta find
those 30. You were excited when there was 30 people on that video. Where are they going to go to find more information about you?
That's
Should
true,
they want
yeah. We're gonna have to make a fan page or something.
Folks, listen, comment below if you think Matthew Mount should make a Facebook fan page. I'd say that's a great idea to get started. We can post lovely pictures of him and his aura behind him.
Oh yeah.
The music is rolling. It's telling me to wrap this up. I usually let it play for a few times before I do that. That's all I have to say, man. I think it was a good show. I like varying opinions. Boy, the Kenny Omega stuff, man. So, like, what you're saying is, to wrap things up, to keep going. Okay, so, like, what you're saying is, Taz better than Kenny Omega. Tell me when to stop.
No.
Oh, okay. Kenny Omega.
I'll leave it off on this.
All right.
All right. Next video, I want to have a discussion about Will Ospreay. Now,
would you like me to talk about his loss against Okada last month?
Well, that's fine. We can talk about losses and wins.
Because
I think
Okada beat him, and then Kenny beat Okada in 2 out of 3. Therefore, vis-a-vis, ergo, Kenny better than Ospreay.
I don't think so.
Gotta roll.
I don't think
that's just math. And that's real math, because that's New Japan. That's not fake WWE statistics. New Japan takes that crap serious too.
They do. I know they do.
All right.
Yeah.
So right now they would all stand up and go like this to me. And I would go, sit down, because I'd be a big foreign menace. I'd always get to listen. Jericho said when he went over, he gained weight because they hate that. Rah, you get mad. All right, folks. I hope you had a good time. I hope everyone learned something and laughed with us. I had a great time. Boy, Matt. Oh boy, I don't know how my friends are gonna feel about all this.
I don't know.
All this turmoil and all these things you hate.
I don't know.
But, folks, you can find me all over the internet. The Wrecking Ball, Havoc J. I have 75 different names. Jason Swinjo, Jason Thomas. I don't just find it. Whatever. Gosh, we're on YouTube. God, look us up. All right, you want to take us out? He's going to say game
on.
On.
That's right.
But you didn't, then I had to.